forth from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer. With boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners, wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Yeah. Aye.
I say, Madam, what you have to offer? She say, I have everything right here. I don't buy whiskey, neither strong rum. It is against my religion. I have homemade wine in all description. Oh boy, you could sample anyone. I have citrus, hibiscus, dandy root, passion fruit. Strawberry, aloes, and cake.
I want some homemade wine, Madam Gloria.
Yeah.
Give me the homemade wine.
It's nice.
I want some homemade wine,
Madam Gloria.
Give me the homemade wine.
It's sweet. Ba-dum-bum, 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 ba-dum-bum.
I
eat black cake from Joan already. So right now I don't want no more. But all them local wine you present me, I got to taste some of them for sure. Oh madam, which one is your favorite? Bring it out quick, let me taste it.
It's the Net Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here, we bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Morocco's Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your double or your morning drink.
It's a Friday, baby.
Stuck on you. I got this feeling down deep in my soul that I just can't lose.
Doesn't know.
Yes, I'm on my way.
DJ Jazzy on the remix, baby.
Needed a friend.
Hey.
And the way I feel now, I guess I'll be with you till the end.
South Africa to the world.
Yes, I'm on my way.
Shake what your mama gave ya.
Mighty glad to stay.
Hey. Your weekend starts right here, baby.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the breakfast show on this Friday morning. I was enjoying the little Friday dance of the seniors. That's what I call it, the dance of the seniors. It's Friday. The weekend has begun. So put a smile on your face if you're in the middle of your commute, if you're now getting up to start getting ready for your commute, or if you're already at work, because I know some of you all are already at work, some of you all are early birders, you're at work already. So welcome to the breakfast show this early morning on Friday morning. Good weather so far. And good morning to my co-host Wendell, and well, I think Sir Charles is not here today. And of course, good morning to all of the people who are logged on already on the stream and watching us on Gael TV. And wherever you are around the world in whatever time zone, connecting with us via YouTube. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, morning, Richard. Morning, Peter. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. Sir Charles is off today, but he may join us remotely. But he's not on now. His son is there. Peter, are you there?
Good morning, Wendell. Good morning, Richard.
Morning.
Hi,
Yeah,
good morning. Good morning, Peter.
and of course, all the wonderful people around the globe have an absolutely fantastic day. The weather is great outside. Actually, it's a little hot today. Yeah, it probably will be a hot day, But we're here. We're happy to be in the land of the living. So much has changed in 24 hours. Well, let me do my birthday greetings. First, Renee Cummins. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday, Renee. Ramesh Basdeo. Hi, happy birthday, Mr. Basdeo. Yolanda Marcel, Nigel Lemon, that's an old childhood friend of mine. He used to live St. James. Migrated, years ago. I think he's out there in Georgia now. Well, he is in Georgia. Maurice Robinson there, and Denise Sinarine, one of the Sinarine family from down in John Street and Cookery there. Happy birthday to you all, and anyone else celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday. Today it was Peter Minchel's birthday yesterday, and it was also the 49th anniversary of the crowning of the first Miss Universe of Color, Janelle Penica Mission. Yesterday was that anniversary. 49 years. She said, we're not looking forward to 50. 49 years since the first Miss Universe of Color, Janelle Penica Mission, was crowned. Yesterday was that anniversary. Right?
Oh, I saw that Sir Charles had posted it up in the group, and I was like, why is he posting that up? I didn't know why. I didn't register him, and I didn't actually click in to see what he was saying.
You didn't see it?
Yeah. So I was like, why is he posting that up? So that's why. Okay, 49 years. Wow.
Yeah.
And Penica looks fantastic. Yeah.
Yes, she does.
She looks fantastic.
She does. I
Wow.
was surprised she responded when I sent her the thing yesterday. I say, and normally we have a chat with her, but it just didn't click early enough yesterday. This early morning show, sometimes you miss a lot. You get to say what happened overnight, but you don't get to deal with what happened during the rest of the day.
Yeah, because you get so caught. Sometimes you get caught up in conversations, on a particular topic, and that leads it for the rest of the day, generally. And then you have other things that you're dealing with, so
so many other things. I don't know. I'm having some more sleepless. After I've kind of gotten over my sleep problems, I'm having some issues again lately. I think I'm going to bed too early. I'm going in my bed too early. I think that's what's happening. You understand? So I'm getting up like midnight, 1 o'clock, and so on, and then can't go back to sleep. That's happening regularly now. But anyway, we're here. We're in the land of the living. I'm seeing someone, Carla Hercules, is celebrating her birthday coming up on Sunday. Sunday will be what? What today is the 17th?
Yeah.
So 18th, 19th. Sunday will be July 19th. All right. I have a son who is the 23rd, a son and a nephew. But let's get into good news now. Unless Richard, let's dispense with the protocols out of the way, and then we'll come back in and tell you all what happened in the last 24 hours.
Well, we still have to be people in the stream too, but I hear you.
But we do the good news and then
go to the good news, Peter, if you have it.
Yeah.
Here are 3 ways to start letting go of your past in the next 30 days. Number 1, stop asking why it happened. That question will keep you trapped for years. Start asking, what did it teach me? Because the moment you find the lesson, you stop being the prisoner of the pain. Number 2, forgive the version of you that did not know better. You made decisions with the mind you had back then, with the fear you had back then, with the knowledge you had back then. So stop punishing your old self with the wisdom you only have today. Number 3, remember this: the past is a teacher. It is not your home. You can visit it for wisdom, but you cannot live there anymore. Take the lesson, leave the weight, and keep walking, because your future needs you much more than your past does. And if you are ready to stop carrying the same pain every day,
that's an important lesson. Your future needs you more than your past does. I can't repeat that enough. Your future needs you more than your past does.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson for today. All right. You ready to greet the folks in the chat, Richard?
Oh, right. I wasn't sure whether you were going to start something or
no, because I wasn't sure you were going to say, oh, you're toting, you're bringing your baggage again, or I was certain you were going to say that.
No. I taped that, so every time I'm ready for it, I just play it.
Lord, if I don't laugh these days, I will cry. Cry a lot. Trust me. I have so much to cry for. Anyway, Kenny and Harlem came in first at 1:02. So the whole first hour of the morning, nobody greeted us. What is this? A little upset. Odell Guy came in at 3:17. Suzanne Jessup also advertising the boat ride, the Cooler Cruise, on August 15th. All right. She's also sending greetings to Suzette, Corinne, Mrs. Gemma, Maria S. and Maria H. Margaret Thomas came in at 4:18. Trinman, great Friday morning to all. Manuela Peters. Ava Smith also says, have a fantastic and safe Friday. Felix Cazo, Maria Cellier, Marcia Rock, Eunice Dublin, thank God it's Friday. Patrick, I think that should be Patrick. Patrick Nicholas, unless it's Pat Rock, Nicholas. Good morning to you all. Very interesting place to live in. And Pamela O'Connor, blessings everyone. Friday, I am grateful to God for the honor to celebrate 69 years tomorrow. Oh, happy birthday in advance, Pamela. 69 years old tomorrow. That's coming from your entire family and, of course, from us on The Breakfast Show.
But you jump over Apollina's.
Did I? I don't see.
Yeah.
No, Apollina's is coming after Pamela.
No, before.
Okay, well, she said it twice. That's why.
No. Okay.
Yeah. Apollina said, thank God it's Friday. Pamela repeats her message. Robert Allen, good morning to the crew and all locked on. Diane Payne, blessed morning, guys, and all on the live chat. Robert Taylor, good morning. Marlon Motley, also good morning. Bernadette and Alicia Yates, Katian Charles, Debbie Modest, Sandra Gabriel, Carol Guevara, Nadia Stephen, Richard, I'm changing in it. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. Gavin Frank from Powder Magazine. Morning, Gavin. Gavin, I gave you a story about you recently. I don't know if you heard it. I was chatting with Dill Barnes yesterday, and I was telling him about that vehicle that you had put in that system that I was able to recover with your help after years of it not being topped up with a SIM card. Amazing. Thanks for that, Gavin. Slick Money Grip, good morning, gentlemen. Joyce Phillip, Carol is singing. Merle McComey is saying good morning. Ali Lois, Philomena Ali. Hey, what are you doing? Anyway, you say it's get Wi-Fi. All right, you're lucky. Dana Hamill, Carla Hercules, Alistair Hart, good morning. Lots of moves to keep people in jail who haven't been charged. Alistair boy, I don't know, Trinidad and Tobago. Forget the Hadids for a moment, right? Just forget that it's the Hadids.
Are you going into a topic now rather than greeting people?
Okay. Well, you know how we do it, Richard. It's kind of extempo sometimes.
I'm trying to play Sir Charles here this morning.
All right, let me finish the chat.
Well, I shouldn't say play Sir Charles. What Sir Charles may be thinking but doesn't see.
All right. Let me finish. Stellar Services, Michael Robinson from Yokohama, Japan, the place with the shortest anthem in the world. I'm sure you all didn't know that. Power Washing says, morning to all from Carlin and Kelly from Carnage. Why Power Washing? And Noel, good morning from Oshawa, Ontario. Carla Hercules, of course, Sunday is her birthday. CJ from New York and soon to be from Braga and Porto and Lisbon.
Good morning, CJ.
Yeah?
I was saying good morning to CJ.
Yeah, CJ is alive, why? She ain't resting, you know. She's trying to keep up with me. Buy a ticket for me, I'll go with you, know.
But she's traveling.
Yeah, she travels a lot. She likes traveling too. The best thing you could ever do in this world. Trust me. Sankofa said bountiful blessings. Chris Tusa says Grand Rising Friday. Charles get a long weekend. Not really, you know. Wayne Ramsey, good morning, guys. Margot Batiste, who is also Trinidad Margot. Carla Hercules is saying she will be 65 and still relevant. You sure right? Beauty Culture, good morning, guys. Kurt Hope from Nashville, Tennessee, and Gavin is giving me the thumbs up. How things going, Gavin? Yeah, you know, pass through St. James. You know where I am right on the main road. They pass and give me a check, man. Pass today. Today's a good day. Those are the greetings in the chat, Richard.
Yeah, I realized. So that's it for our greetings in the chat this morning. And of course, I suppose at this point we can.
But I don't know if Peter have on the WhatsApp or where he's controlling it.
Yeah, we have some greetings on the WhatsApp this morning. Rena Budu Jetting saying good morning. Messina Augustine, good morning. Frank Andrews from Aruka, good morning. Captain Ron, good morning. Patrick Millie, good morning. Chris from Kirap, good morning. And Kent, good morning all, good morning.
All right, and Stephanie Santana joined us. So I guess we could go straight into Did You Know, Richard?
No, you don't have to go to Did You Know? We still have newspapers and stuff and all of that to do. And we can have some conversation at this point.
Right. So let's have that conversation. Because do we have those videos? Were we able to download them? The one with what happened right after the decision was made, and then the subsequent one.
I don't know if Peter may need to answer that. I don't know.
We have one of the videos here.
Yeah. Let's show it so people can be aware of what we're going to talk about.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Mr. Rawi, you have any comments to make on the judgment given?
So good afternoon, everyone. We've just received the judgment of the panel. The president of the panel was Mr. Justice of Appeal Raj Kumar. It's fresh off the point. We are en route to the prisons now. The judges have ordered the immediate release of our clients under supervision. Effectively, let me call it home detention. So there are conditions to be worked out. We expect that this matter is not at an end. We will be back in court tomorrow. We expect that there may be applications made today by the state, and therefore we continue to work to ensure that justice prevails in this matter.
Are you pleased?
I could never be pleased in a situation like this that is still ongoing. When it's all done, then we'll have time to reflect in the sobriety. So far it's been 20 days of no sleep, work day and night to ensure that we get there. We've had a very, very capable team. Mr. Mendez, Mr. Das, Mr. Peterson, myself as seniors in the matter, a team of excellent junior counsel, Mr. Punwasi, Mr. Rajkumar, Mr. Rajkumar, Mr. Carla McLeod and Mr. Pigas. So we have been working on effectively 9 matters all at the same time, because we have multiple applications in many courts, in the Court of Appeal, in the High Court, and we were prepared to go to the Privy Council instantly as well.
What about your clients, their mood when they heard of the ruling?
My clients have been suffering under extreme conditions which have been set out in the papers. In particular, Mr. Hadid's medical condition has been of great concern. He has received not an ounce of medical care while in the state's custody. We fear that his ability to even walk may be compromised, and they have known all of this. And I have a lot more to say. We're sub judice, effectively. I must respect as an officer of the court the rules and functions of what we say and do, but suffice it to say that this story is not at an end. We expect that there will be challenges and appeals, and certainly we're in court tomorrow morning before Mr. Justice Paul on the continuation of the substantive matters, and importantly, the 70-year-old aunt who is a homemade, she makes cheese for a living. She rents her accommodation. She has no money to her name. She doesn't own her apartment. She has been incarcerated as well. So her matter is going on. We've carefully not run afoul of the rules. I'm speaking to you about matters that have been published in the press so far. So I'd respectfully say thank you to the Justices of Appeal, but we as lawyers are intimately and acutely aware that this matter is still ongoing.
Mr. Peterson, is this a victory in part or whole?
Mr. Alvario said it all. Thank you so much, folks.
Thank you so much.
Of course, if we had the emoji a few moments later, after that story broke, because that generated a lot of conversation on social media, that particular story. Of course, we saw the videos of the police entering the Hadid residence with a mobile unit. We saw all the restrictions that were to be placed on them. And if I could just read what were some of those restrictions. It says, conditions of the Hadid's house arrest would be confinement to their home, surrender their passports and other travel documents, surrender all firearms in their possession. I thought they're taking that already. Surrender all communication devices. I thought they're taking those already. Not to communicate with persons outside the address, whether directly or indirectly, without prior approval by the Commissioner of Police, and not to attempt to leave home without the permission of the Commissioner of Police, become like a grandfather. Not permitted to have visitors without prior approval of the Commissioner of Police. Only listed and approved medical and legal practitioners and or caregivers are permitted to enter the home, and to allow entry onto the premises by an authorized and designated member of the TTPS at reasonable times to attend and conduct inspections to confirm compliance. Now, all those things happened after that first release there, where they were to be immediately released, right? And of course, the PDOs alleged, this is part of the decision, they allege an ongoing conspiracy to assassinate government officials but the court considered that the stated material did not sufficiently identify. And what are those things? The alleged plan or conspiracy, the involvement of persons other than the detainees and a relative, any preparatory steps taken to implement the alleged plan, or how the alleged statements move beyond offensive or vehement speech into actual conspiracy. The court held that vague reliance on intelligence without explaining how it supported an ongoing conspiracy or developing plan arguably failed to satisfy the statutory preconditions for preventive detention. Well, all of that, as I said, took place. The police entered the home with monitoring devices or whatever. They were setting up a mobile unit down there. And guess what happened? That's what.
Oh, very good. The mobile unit was going on the actual compound of the property.
They're taking the mobile unit onto the property.
But there was nothing in the order that said that, though.
Well, clearly the order made Mr. Somebody, Senior Hadi. You understand? The order clearly gave the police the authority really to barricade the Hadids in their house.
But from what I read preliminarily, it said that the police would have the right to make sure they were conforming and could enter at reasonable times and stuff like that. But it didn't. I don't think it said put a mobile unit in the yard. At least from what I saw.
Yeah, you're right. But Richard, is even obvious from that video. The police are in shame sometimes. The mobile unit not even driving. It had a wreck. It had to go on a wrecker in the yard. You see that?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that happened, folks. And then this happened a few hours later.
But before you go on, Wendell, because you read part of that of the Court of Appeals judgment, which is pretty instructive. If you could read that part again, where they talked about the language that the state did not provide evidence that met to convince the Court of Appeal. Let me put it that way.
Right.
That the language used met but not even the language used, that whatever evidence was before it did not necessarily indicate conspiracy.
Yeah.
And
so let me read it again.
Yeah, or something like that. So just reading that.
Yeah, it said the PDOs alleged an ongoing conspiracy to assassinate government officials, but the court considered that the stated material did not sufficiently identify, one, the alleged plan or conspiracy, and that's very strange. Two, the involvement of persons other than the detainees and a relative. Three, any preparatory steps taken to implement the alleged plan. Or four, how the alleged statements move beyond offensive or vehement speech into an actual conspiracy. In other words, two people talking and saying, "Oh, I'm feeling to do this." How did that move from that?
Right. So that last line is the most instructive to me. in terms of the Court of Appeals assessment. And is that you know, you're just trying to analyze, is that the crux of the state's case, if the state has a case? Because we're not sure. Because the usual scrutiny and the usual constitutional guardrails are not present because of the state of emergency. So outside of a state of emergency, could you have charged? Could you have detained so long? Probably not.
Right.
And if you had to charge, of course, it would have had to go to the DPP, and the DPP would have to assess whether this meets, and I always come back to the standard of beyond reasonable doubt, and have the elements of a criminal offense actually been met in terms of actus reus and mens rea, and whether those constituent elements of all criminal offenses, the basis of them, have been met to actually proffer a charge. So it seems murky at best. And so looking at that Court of Appeal, that was the line that stood out for me when I looked at it yesterday. And so we'll see how it all plays out. But of course, all of these, the kind of operational efficacy of the state at this point, it seems to be purely on the basis of the emergency powers that they have under the state of emergency.
Yeah.
They don't seem balanced against natural justice rules at this point. But of course, it's still sub judice because it's now going to the Privy Council. Because as an update to what you just saw, I don't know if mentioned it already, after this, the Court of Appeal said release them immediately, and put certain conditions that the state would have required. Well, the state may have argued back and forth, but obviously the state lost the point to continue to detain them under a PDO because of what this Court of Appeal was assessing. And the Court of Appeal said, okay, but we will put them under house arrest and put certain conditionalities, but they're to be immediately released. The state immediately, instead of releasing, of course, and legal recourse, and sought a stay of that immediate release while they take the matter to the Privy Council. And the Court of Appeal, I guess, deliberated on that and said, okay, we're going to stay that thing, and then it will be heard as I assume, an urgent appeal to the Privy Council.
Yeah.
And so it now goes to the Privy Council.
But we don't know when that is going to happen.
Well, I assume that it's going to be an emergency application. When that's going to happen. So they continue to be detained. Huh?
The application is coming from the state, not from the Hadid's attorneys,
No, the state has to take that appeal, but the Hadid's attorneys are not necessarily powerless in terms of motivating, of pushing that to happen quicker. Because if it's not happening within a reasonable time, they can file other, emotions, I guess, concerning it. But at this point, that's where it's at. Now, it's a gamble to me on the state's part, and I'll tell you why. Because you already have one case before the Privy Council that the Privy Council has already heard, and they've reserved judgment on from a 2011 state of emergency, where the state of emergency was called in 2011, and where people were detained under preventative detention orders, and they are challenging the constitutionality of their detention under the state of emergency, and because these were people that were never charged. That was heard before the Privy Council within the last week, and they reserved judgment. The judgment of that is going to indicate whichever way the Privy Council comes down, is going to indicate how PDOs are operationalized in future state of emergencies, including this one.
Yeah.
This case now, of course, is going to be confined to the factors of this case, but it also has the potential now. This is why I say it's a gamble on the part of the state. It also has the potential now to also give directions from the Privy Council that may not be in the favor of what the state wants.
Right, in terms of other people held under PDOs and not charged.
Under PDOs that are not being charged. Because the Privy Council could say, well, okay, does the issue of natural justice, I suppose, have a part to play within the parameters of a state of emergency and a preventative detention order? And I suppose the basic question, if you could simplify it for people listening and watching, is during a state of emergency, does the state have absolute power to detain you with no charge and no substantial evidence that you are a threat to public order? And if that is so that they can't, then it means the state would have a lot to answer in terms of these preventative detention orders. Because so that's substantively the issue. Does the state have that power? So they can detain you arbitrarily, inverted commas, and by arbitrarily I mean that they don't have substantive reason to, and they hold a preventative detention order against you, which can last for the entire length of whatever the state of emergency is. Is that fair? Is that constitutionally right within the parameters of the Trinidad and Tobago Constitution? And those are the issues. And those are the issues that are going to be ventilated. Now, I don't mind matters going before the Privy Council, because I've always stated my position that you need to clear where these lines are.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody will have a problem with it. But you know who's going to get the blame after all this is said and done? The person who they say advised that they should call a state of emergency. Wasn't that didn't they say it on the advice of the Commissioner of Police? Didn't he say he advised them? He is going to get the blame after all this mess is exposed, People go cuss the government, yes, as the politics go. But the government going to say, but you advised us. You said do this. You said do that. I don't think he even realizes that, And look at how that order is stated. The kind of power they give to the Commissioner of Police in terms of the Hadids. And as I tell people, take the Hadids out of this for one moment. Take the Hadids out of it. Are you okay with what's happening in this country? You can't possibly be. I don't care what political side you're on. You can't possibly be happy with a situation like that that's happening in this country. And let me just go into something a little bit, because that had me up all night thinking. I'm saying, for all the years I've been around, whether movies or real life, the people who conspire to kill you, who do assassinations, are in the most cases people close to you. They're either within your immediate circle, or they are part of a group that will get close to you, right? Think back of any movie you can think of, and think back of people who've actually been assassinated, right? It's a lot of times it's people who have close access and easy access to you. So the Hadids and them, I don't know that they had easy, because they are alleged they are being accused.
You're getting into the matters of the case now, which is sub judice still.
So hush.
So you're because you're now going to the facts of the case.
All right.
But in terms of
that's why I'd say take the Hadids out of it, right? But
then the circle straight back.
Yeah. Clearly people have to be worried about what's happening in this place. Clearly, people have to be. I saw Jason Samuel.
If you look at some of the comments on social media, because sometimes I look at the comments just to get a gauge of people's opinions, and I must say that to me, a lot of people yesterday, after they were released, after the Court of Appeals had to release them immediately, a lot of the social media commentary seemed to be in favor of that. Right. That they felt it was unjust. But what they were also saying too, in terms of social media, they felt it was unjust and that the Court of Appeal was right. But they also felt that other people being detained under PDOs without substantive issues to charge should also be released.
Correct.
That was the general sentiment on social media, if I can encapsulate it.
You know, Richard, to the credit of this show, and not just this show, but in particular the two of us who was on a previous show for years, we've always held that belief in terms of the poor man or the youth man, and we have been seeing, and which is why too, you have a little confidence in the courts, because we have been seeing too lately that a lot of people who've been languishing in jail on certain charges and so on, without proper evidence, have been released by the courts. We are seeing that a lot now. You understand? More than ever before. You understand? So there is still hope in the courts. Why the Chief Justice, along with two other appellate judges, went in an opposite direction, we don't know. Nothing was explained. They didn't explain anything like how the previous three appellate judges explained, right? We haven't seen that release from them then, how they arrived at their decision to stay the order and have them not have them released, right? We haven't seen that. Maybe it'll come out some point in time today. But we are into interesting times. Jason Samuel is saying the Court of Appeal, the Privy Council is here in the matter 3 p.m. today. I think I saw Jason Samuel say that.
Maybe that be possible because it would be an urgent application because people's liberty are the issue. When people are detained and you bring in an application, they'll probably hear it much quicker. But before we get into that one, we still need to do the headlines and we still have to go for our commercial break, which we have not done.
Well, let's do that. So we're doing the headlines first or the commercial break?
No, let's do the headlines and then we could take the commercial break and then come back and take calls.
All right. Of course, we go into today's I have the Physical Express wrong with me and I'm going on now. The headline in today's Express, Hadid's stay in prison. Appeal court ruling delays businessman and wife's release. And there are two pictures, one of a police mobile unit that was placed on the compound of the Hadid's home in Bayshore, Westmoreland. And of course, the other picture is a photo of Dominic Hadid as he is seen at the Golden Grove Prison, Aruka, yesterday. All right? Those are the two pictures on the front page. Of course, in other stories, Foster served court order at airport, and look now, somebody take out the phone and film it, you know. They're filming while Foster being served the court order, you know. You feel this place?
Foster was served the court order yesterday for what?
For Balize House thing, the Balize House issue. As he landed at the airport midnight, two special branch officers, come. Take this, sign for this. And somebody film it and shared it. You feel this police easy? Because there's no media there. Anyway, that's one of the other stories. Party reviews demand for financial records. Matter was not rushed, so says Camille Robinson Regis concerning the Blue Waters lease. Hadid stay in custody. THA receives pre-action protocol letter. U.S. dining brands arrive in Trinidad and Tobago. IHOP and Applebee's will be opening at the Grand Bazaar next month. I'll probably take a visit. Businessman loses over $1 million in cyberbank heist. Now that makes interesting reading, and that's worrying reading. That somebody could do a transfer online in your accounts to the total of over $1 million. And nobody query, nobody even call the businessman and say, hey, did you authorize this? That is worrying, right? Claxton.
I thought you had limits in how much you could transfer.
There are limits, and that's why the businessman is concerned.
Yeah.
There are limits. You understand? Claxton Bay farmer dies in tractor accident. Second autopsy on Andre, cause of death undetermined. PM response to Rodriguez, that's at the back of today's Express. Please help me find my son, that's Simon Bagwat. And Imbert raises debt concerns, calls for economic clarity. Government clears 17 million debt of Children's Authority. And of course, in sports, batters collapse again. West Indies get a curtail yesterday again from New Zealand. All right, that's all you need to know.
All right, Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for this morning. Hadid's hopes for freedom dashed. Late night court challenge by state results in overturning of earlier decision to release couple from jail and place them under house arrest. State taking Hadid matter to Privy Council. Gonzalez Griffith question info that led to Hadid's detention. Can Hadid's case raises socio-economic inequalities in Trinidad and Tobago? PNM gears up for court fight over Balize House funding probe. So that's some of the major stories there. Two companies interested in I'm reading it wrong. Two companies interested in talking to Nestle. So two of the region's leading food manufacturers have expressed interest in exploring the future of Nestle Trinidad and Tobago's dairy and juices business if the company opens discussions with potential buyers. Thumbs up for TNT's full Mercosur membership. Hawaii TNT economy stable, inflation low. CARICOM backs Ghana's candidate for top UN post. And building world-class teams, what leaders can learn from FIFA World Cup. And in sports, TNT volleyball men leave for Kazova Final Four tourney. Bain cops 3 Sagicor Junior tennis titles. TNT stumbles while Barbados wins again. Royalians edge Harvard in rugby league. And Taylor's heroic spinners earn Windies women clean sweep of Ireland. So that's it in business, trending news and business news in the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for this morning. At this point, we'll take a break to go to our commercials and we'll be right back.
Are you a business owner? Well, take advantage of Net Radio and Kyle Caribbean TV Christmas in July advertising special. Throughout the month of July, enjoy 33% off all advertising packages. Whether you are micro, small, medium, or large business, now is the perfect time to put your product and service in front of the people who matter. Reach your audience through radio, television, and social media, all at 33% off. Don't miss this limited Christmas in July offer. Call us today at 281-1315 or 299-5156 and let Net Radio and Kyle Caribbean TV help you grow your business. But hurry, this special offer ends July 31st. It's Christmas in July on Net Radio and Kyle Caribbean TV.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Get ready.
The road to football's biggest stage starts right here on Net Radio and Kyle TV. Join us for Inside the Net, the road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights. Every weekday, take a journey through World Cup history, legendary players, unforgettable goals, football's greatest nations, rising stars, iconic stadiums, and the stories behind the beautiful game. From Brazil to Argentina, Germany to France, and every nation chasing football glory. Join us daily at 7:55 a.m. and 11:55 a.m. Don't just watch the World Cup, live the passion. Inside the Net, road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights.
All aboard!
Calling all you Net Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on Net Radio. Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August. Boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts, Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite net DJs. Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early
them who's a
bird
big
tickets are
dancer.
just $200. After $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Kure, Bats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall and Eastgate Small, and all net DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. Net Radio, Halloween, Hula Cruise. Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Halloween, on the scene.
Never a dull day in sweet, sweet Trinidad and Tobago. It's just round and round and round we go. And I take note of all the comments in the chat. And it's not Victor Charles. It's Victor Philip, I think, said, I think he called names of who will be blamed. No, it's Victor Charles. Okay, that's somebody new then. Victor Charles said the Commissioner of Police and the AG will be thrown under the bus, and somebody agrees with him and adds the Minister of Homeland Security to quote it, Finch. I agree with all that. They will be thrown under the bus at the end of all this, because I don't know how folks, as I said, take the Hadids out of this matter, right? Look at it objectively as to what's going on. Forget the Hadids and the money and the power and the wealth and whatnot. Take them out of it. Just deal with this issue on its own in terms of what you're seeing happening with the state machinery. And if you're comfortable with it, then fine. If you're not, you have a right to register your discomfort with, of course, within the ambit of the law. Right? So we could open up the lines now, 281-1315, and take some calls. Good morning to all the others who would have joined us on the chat. Red Fire, Deborah Noel Surrett, Mrs. R, Lester Cragwell, Kim Govaya, Andre. Andre said, I don't think it's fair to say it was the police who recorded that video. It could have been a member of the public. Yeah, cleaner. Might have been the guy who was cleaning. Could be. Yeah, you're right, Andre. Yeah, so... If you don't laugh, Richard, you're going to cry. You're going to cry. So we open up the lines, Peter, 281-1315 and 299-5156. And we'll put up our poll shortly for you all, right?
Yes, we do have a call on the line right now. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Sir Charles, Richard, and Wendell. Oh, Richard look like he want to go back in the bed to and sleep.
Yeah, I guess.
He probably does.
Actually, I got more sleep last night than I usually do.
Go ahead, caller. She gone?
Bless good morning, gentlemen. Bless good morning, Sir Charles, Richard, and Wendell. Hello.
Go ahead, Susan.
Right, I was hardly hearing you all. Sorry about that. I'm not going to tell you all. I say, oh, Richard, I look like you want to sleep. Go back in the bed and sleep, so.
Now, you go ahead with your contribution.
To you all, but to me, I'm not surprised at what's going on. As you rightfully say, Mr. Wendell, take all the Hadids, everything about it. I just don't like how they're doing stuff. It's like one thing after the next. Every day is not a dull moment. Richard, when you're done, you could do a play with this whole story, but I think you might have to wait the next 5 years to do that play. Because if you go to do it now, they might want to lock you up. Because the kind of details, they give you details to do a nice play. I could see a nice play you could do, Richard. I done seen that already. And I go sell out, I'm telling you for sure. But gentlemen, it's nothing surprising at all. Every day is like a movie. One thing popping up after the next. I know why the study, or you train people in jail, I'm talking about the youths, African youths. in jail. Some of them who parents who can't afford to get a good lawyer, and they inside it for no reason. They can't charge them yet. And then a few moments later, you hear they out the court because why? The police dropped the ball because they don't have enough evidence and all this kind of nonsense. Come on, it's one thing after the next. And then while all of this going on, the smoke screen, they taking all that's like what I told you all with Mr. Brown, when they take over 500 million from the stabilization fund, what they gonna do with that? Are you going to pay the police and the people the 10% and back pay? They're not gonna get nothing. I am seeing this as smoke screen after smoke screen. Something is going on behind the scene. Is everything every day is a smoke screen every day. No till election, and so we know till election because they have no crime plan. No crime plan whatsoever. But gentlemen, before I leave, don't forget people, Saturday the 15th of August 2026. So you're supposed to don't have all your tickets. You still have early bird tickets out there. Go and get it. Go and get it now. And don't forget, if you need to get your drinks, rum boxes there in St. James, you could go and get your drinks. And just remember, you're buying can and plastic. You cannot go with glass bottle on the people boat. Right, so gentlemen,
All right, Suzanne Davis.
Have a blessed weekend.
All right. I know one person who have the ticket already is Deborah Noel Surratt. She says on the chat, Richard, I love you so much. Can't wait to meet you on the boat ride. And that coming right after Mrs. R say, make a comment there. Miss Noel Surratt, I hope you know you ever meet Mrs. R. Okay.
Let me taking your calls at this point. 2811315, 2811315, or 2995156.
Good morning, Richard Wendell.
Yes,
good morning.
Richard, could you give some clarity for the layman like me? If the Privy Council rules against the state, what does that entail for people who have been detained under the PDO? Could you clarify for the layman what it entails? Thanks.
Yeah. You kind of did already, you know.
Yeah, I kind of did, and but ultimately, it will rest upon what the Privy Council says in the decision. That's basically where it would rest. It would depend on how is the decision going to be focused only on this particular case, or is it going to be an expansive decision with regard to PDOs? Now, as I would have said before, I don't know if you would have heard, there is already a decision before the Privy Council that is due for a 2011 case that was just heard within this week. I think this week or last week it was heard concerning the same fundamental issues about the PDOs and the use of the state by preventative detention orders under a state of emergency. And is it a carte blanche tool to just detain people until the end, with no end in sight until the end of the state of emergency? Or are there rules that should govern whether somebody can be detained? And ultimately, those kinds of nuances, I think, is going to be addressed by that 2011 decision, one way or the other, depending on how the Privy Council views it. This is a new case now, obviously now going up, that is looking particularly at the circumstances of the Hadiths. But how the decision is phrased by the Privy Council, one way or the other, can have an impact on PDOs generally. But we'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But I can't say it will definitively. I don't know. It depends on how the decision is phrased.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll know that we'll have a decision by the end of the day. If the matter is really being heard at 3 p.m. today.
And it is going before the Privy Council today, they would probably give a decision urgently because people's liberty is under scrutiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so we'll have to wait and see.
When you think about this matter, as I keep telling people, take the players out of it. When you think of a matter like this, conspiracy to murder, that's as serious as you could get, you know. And when you have a court of appeal giving telling you that conspiring with who? Conspiring when? How? You understand? You haven't shown that.
That is going to be that's going to be, I suppose, part of the argument before the Privy Council.
Yeah.
Because the issue before the Privy Council will be is the Court of Appeal initial decision correct?
Mm-hmm.
And it can even well they'd be confined into whether they have to look at some of the substantive matters. I would hazard a guess, because you're looking, the Court of Appeal would have made a decision based, the first decision I'm talking about, based on what was before them, and they were saying they weren't convinced, basically.
And what would have changed, Richard?
Nothing may have changed, you know. All remember, the application of the state was ready. Stay the execution and give us leave to go to the Privy Council.
Right.
So the Court of Appeal said,
Yeah.
okay, we'll give you the stay and just get to the Privy Council as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Basically, that's the kind of, if I'm simplifying it, basically that's what it is.
Right. I understand.
So will the Privy Council agree with the Court of Appeal's adjudication on the issue? Because the Privy Council could also say, I'm just hazarding a guess, they could look at it and say, well, yeah, we agree with the Court of Appeal's decision. And maybe the conditionalities that were set by the Court of Appeal were sufficient. Or they may say, if it is that there is no evidence, and the evidence threshold is murky at best, do the rules of innocent until proven guilty operate within a PDO or not?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of detention for the purposes of public order? Are they completely overridden by the fact that you have a state of emergency? And those are the kind of issues that I suppose the Privy Council will have to decide and say, well, is this justified or is it not justified? And is it really going beyond the constitutional remit of what a preventative detention order is envisioned to be constitution? And is it now being abused or not?
Yeah. And
I suppose that's the kind of decisions that the Privy Council will, because if the Privy Council could decide anything.
Yeah.
In terms of course, the case before it.
Richard, I will tell you something though before we break for the news. While a lot of people were praising the fact that of the decision of the Court of Appeal in terms of freeing them, releasing them immediately, a lot of people too were concerned about the restrictions being placed on them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was kind of hinting at that the Privy Council could decide, if you have no evidence yet to charge, and you have had 20 days, then release absolutely.
Right.
They can make that kind of decision too.
Right. Without all those restrictions.
And this holds for any PDO. So that's why it's difficult to see how they're going to rule, because the 2011 case already kind of looks at those issues for which the Privy Council has reserved judgment. So, and that 2011 case was specifically zoned in on that issue, that issue of PDOs. And it's something that needs really to be ventilated. And as I always say, I prefer that matters go before the court and let the court draw the line. Let the court says this is what's allowed. Because it also gives guidance to state authorities. Okay, we cannot go beyond this. And sometimes lines need to be drawn, because you can't always depend on politicians to draw the lines correctly. Because very few governments have a view of governance that is fair and objective in terms of moving forward and the laws that you should put in place in terms of moving forward. Very few governments have that sense of governing, and in a space. So I'll give you an example. There are very few governments, and let's look at the Trinidad and Tobago space. Let's look at this space, right? There are very few governments that will say, okay, you know what? We're going to make all cabinet minutes transparent. After a month, within a month, you will get all the matters that went before cabinet released, so that citizens can see what happened. Right? Things being redacted. That's transparency to a very clinical level. Right? We're going to introduce campaign finance reform and be very clinical and clear about it. We are going to make sure that things are always fair. Since the Commissioner of Police has tremendous power, we are now going, rather than him being subject to approval that comes ultimately from the state, and if you zone in ready from the Prime Minister, we're going to make that an electable office. So citizens vote on the Commissioner of Police, so he's answerable to the citizenry. Those kinds of things in a mix in a democracy matter in how empowered the electorate feels. We are going to, even though we have 5 years within a Trinidad and Tobago democracy, we are going to introduce legislation that gives you the right to recall us. Once signatures of 250,000 people, it triggers a referendum, and 60% have to vote that there be a recall. Those kinds of interesting democracy quirks are not anything that governments really think about, because they're so the system fuels us wanting to stay in power.
Yeah, let's put up the poll, Peter, and go for the news, which we are very late. So Charles is going to catch a fit when he comes later. What's the poll, Peter? Right, this is our poll today, people. Are you surprised or comfortable with the latest developments regarding the Hadids? Yes. If you're voting yes, you're voting 1. If you're voting no, you're voting 2. All right. Are you surprised or comfortable with the latest developments? And we would have outlined it beautifully for you all this morning, Richard in particular. All right. Are you surprised or comfortable? Yes or no? That's our poll. When we come back, we'll take the results, and then we're going to give you the chance to call and talk and talk. Right? News up.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on Net Radio and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Businessman Dominic Hadid and his wife Genevieve will remain in prison after the state successfully blocked their release just hours after the Court of Appeal ordered they be freed. Earlier on Thursday, a panel of appeal court judges ruled the couple should be released immediately from prison and placed under strict house arrest while they continue their legal challenge to their preventive detention orders issued during the state of emergency. However, during an emergency late-night hearing, Chief Justice Ronnie Budasing and 2 appellate judges granted a stay of that ruling and approved the state's appeal to the Privy Council. The Hadids, who have been detained since June 24, were not released from Golden Grove Prison and will remain in custody pending further court proceedings. Their legal team criticized the delay in carrying out the original release order, while the state argued the matter should first be considered by the Privy Council. The Privy Council has reserved judgment in a landmark case challenging the legality of Trinidad and Tobago's 2011 state of emergency and the detention of 17 people without charge. The appeal was brought by Assistant Commissioner of Police Earl Ellie, Ashmead Mohammed, and Dominic Apitalal, who argue the emergency measures were unconstitutional. Their attorney, Senior Counsel Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, told the court the 2011 crime situation did not justify suspending constitutional rights, while the state argued the emergency measures were lawful and proportionate. The ruling could have significant implications for current and future legal challenges involving preventive detention orders and states of emergency in Trinidad and Tobago. US-based Hummingbird AI Holdings says Trinidad and Tobago was chosen for its proposed AI data center because of its strong industrial infrastructure, skilled workforce, and competitive energy costs. Company executive Mark Kwesi Farrell said the country also offers reliable subsea connectivity to North and South America and a growing focus on economic diversification. The proposed project would begin with a 150 megawatt AI campus, with room for future expansion, while potential sites are still being evaluated. Farrell said the investment could create hundreds and eventually thousands of construction and technology jobs, boost foreign exchange earnings, and position Trinidad and Tobago as a regional hub for AI and digital infrastructure. The People's National Movement has been served with a High Court order requiring the party to explain the funding of its multi-million-dollar Balazir House headquarters. Police served the order on PNM General Secretary Foster Cummings shortly after midnight at Piarco International Airport as he returned from an overseas trip. The order, granted last week, forms part of an application for a preliminary unexplained wealth order, which requires the PNM and its trustees to provide financial records and explain the source of funds used to construct the building. The PNM has denied any wrongdoing, with Chairman Marvin Gonzalez describing the police action as a politically motivated witch hunt. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has confirmed she spoke with Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, 2 days after last month's devastating earthquakes, as Trinidad and Tobago launched a major humanitarian relief effort. In a letter released by the Office of the Prime Minister, Persad-Bissessar said Trinidad and Tobago activated a public-private relief initiative with more than 230 tons of supplies delivered to Venezuela on July 10. She also said Trinidad and Tobago is helping to transport vaccines, approving humanitarian overflights, and remains committed to supporting Venezuela's recovery. The correspondence followed a letter from Rodriguez thanking Trinidad and Tobago for its solidarity and humanitarian assistance after the disaster. As we go, a White House teleprompter operator is being investigated for allegedly using insider information to place bets on words President Donald Trump would use in major speeches. Gabriel Perez, who worked at the White House since 2016, allegedly made nearly $100,000 through trades on prediction market platform Kalshi. The company said it detected unusual betting activity and reported it to the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Perez's account was frozen before any profits could be withdrawn. The White House said he has been placed on unpaid leave and will no longer work there. And that is Net Radio News at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Darling, who you looking for? Alexander, Alexander. With 2 suitcases and she tell me she must find this man. Alexander, Alexander. Every Christmas she does come down to meet sweet man Alex from town. She wanted to surprise him, so she didn't call. She went searching all about, but can't find a lick at all. She tell me I want a lick, I want a lick, I want a lick. I can't do it all a lick. A lick makes me happy, a lick drives me crazy. A lick for my Christmas, a lick is so gorgeous. Yeah, she tell me I want a lick, I want a lick, I want a lick. I can't do it all a lick. Christmas tree for Alexander. Alexander. Curtains with bedspread to match and a brand new Timex watch for Alexander. Alexander. I tell she I ain't see him long time, 'cause I just hardly go online. She say, Kenny, don't try that, you and Alex close. Anytime I can't find him, it's you that are checking first. She tell me I want Alex, I want Alex, I want Alex, I can't do without Alex. Alex makes me shiver, Alex kiss me lover, Alex kiss me tonic, he don't make me get sick. Boy, she tell me I want Alex, I want Alex, I want Alex, I can't do without Alex.
It's the Net Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right. Calling all you Net Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on Net Radio Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August, boarding at 7 p.m. from Hard Cuts Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite net DJs, Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early bird tickets are just $200, after $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Kure, Pats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall, and Eastgate Mall, and all net DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. Net Radio, Halloween Cooler Crew, Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Halloween on the scene.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Are you a business owner? Well, take advantage of Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV Christmas in July advertising special. Throughout the month of July, enjoy 33% off all advertising packages. Whether you are micro, small, medium, or large business, now is the perfect time to put your product and service in front of the people who matter. Reach your audience through radio, television, and social media, or at 33% off. Don't miss this limited Christmas in July offer. Call us today at 281-1315 or 299-5156 and let Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV help you grow your business. But hurry, this special offer ends July 31st. It's Christmas in July on Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV.
Flavor Entertainment Services, your one-stop premium entertainment service provider. We offer top-tier, best-in-class karaoke and DJ services for your private events, sports bars and lounge. Let us help make your birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, and corporate special events memorable and special. Call us now at 462-2029. We provide more than just music. We create memories that last.
Get ready.
The road to football's biggest stage starts right here on Net Radio and Guile TV. Join us for Inside the Net, the road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights. Every weekday, take a journey through World Cup history, legendary players, unforgettable goals, football's greatest nations, rising stars, iconic stadiums, and the stories behind the beautiful game. From Brazil to Argentina, Germany to France, and every nation chasing football glory. Join us daily at 7:55 a.m. and 11:55 a.m. Don't just watch the World Cup, live the passion. Inside the Net, road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights.
Okay, we are back from our 7 o'clock news. And if you could put about the poll again there for us, Peter. I think somebody asked me to say what kind of poll is that? Beauty culture, girl or boy, whoever you are. I think you might be a woman. We had polls set, and then the story just changed in the night, you know. And this morning, 4 o'clock, Sir Charles messaged to say, well, what we decided on, and well, this is the best we could come up with, right? So are you surprised? Because we would have outlined all that happened with the Hadid's matter in terms of them being freed and all the restrictions placed on them. And then, of course, the state went back to court, and the 3 different appellate judges sat last night, including the Chief Justice, and decided, no, they're not to be freed. We're going to they're going to allow the state to take the matter to the Privy Council first, and then let the Privy Council decide, you know. So that's how we came up with this poll. Are you surprised or comfortable? I mean, I know it's a kind of mixed in terms of the terminology used, but are you surprised and or comfortable with the latest developments regarding the Hadids? Yes or no? Lots of people voted on this poll.
I get the point that Beauty Culture is raising. The poll is a little strange because surprised and comfortable are kind of opposites.
Opposites.
Yeah, it should be, are you surprised or uncomfortable with the latest developments regarding the Hadids? But what you have is a sentence that says the two opposing views, surprised and comfortable. It's confusing.
You're right.
So
You're right.
So I would suggest people eliminate the word comfortable and just go with surprised. Are you surprised with the latest developments regarding the Hadids? That's how you should read the poll.
Yeah.
Take out the word comfortable because it's oppositional in a sense to what surprised is.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. So, but we could take some calls. We could take some calls on it on our poll. But most people went with they're not. I guess not comfortable. When they answered 2, I guess they're saying they're not comfortable or maybe not surprised at how it went. You know what I mean? But a lot of people commented on the fact that I think a lot of people were uncomfortable with the restrictions that they were being placed under. And I gave Richard an example of something yesterday that a lot of people may not be aware. Richard, should we tell them?
But you mean with what?
With the Alexa device.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of people know that. Yeah.
I didn't know it for a while, you know. I didn't know that you could actually use your Alexa device and call someone who has another Alexa device. So it's not a phone call, eh? It's from device to device. I don't know if you're all aware of that. that device you have plugged in there, that Alexa device, you could call someone with another Alexa device. Once they're within earshot of that their device, and for some people they have it on the phone, you can have a conversation with somebody from Alexa to Alexa.
Yeah, you can.
Mm-hmm. I didn't learn that until late, All right, so we're taking some calls. 281-1315, 299-5156, and it's on the poll, people. It's based on the poll, right? You can take some calls on that. Yeah, it is. Well, Richard cleared it up, right? Beauty culture, the issue of the poll, right? So thanks for pointing it out to us.
Yeah.
Andre is asking, Wendell taking out the Hadids, do you think if the average poor man who is being detained without charge brought that case to the courts, it would have been heard and decided so quickly? If the average poor man had access to attorneys, senior counsel, and so on, well, then yes. But the average poor man wouldn't have access to those kind of attorneys. Andre, so you're answering your question yourself. You understand? It is the fact that people have access to senior counsel and that those types of attorneys why their matters would be heard urgently. Not so, Andre? Yeah.
Yeah, but I hear people raising that point, but the issue is the decision can have repercussions for the people who are less resourced.
Naturally.
So that's where the advantage comes in.
Mm-hmm.
The less resourced get the benefit of the resource sometimes getting decisions on certain points. Remember years ago, people may not remember, but before you left the country, you had to get what was called a tax clearance certificate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Years ago, you had to get a tax clearance certificate before you could leave the country. And a businessman had attempted to leave, and he was prevented from leaving because they said he did not have a tax clearance certificate. He may have still owed taxes or whatever. And they said, you don't have a tax clearance certificate, so you cannot leave the country. And he filed a motion against the state concerning it. And the constitutional motion was the freedom of movement in our constitution is superior to you trying to detain me on the basis or prevent me from moving out of Trinidad and Tobago for whatever reason, leisure or whatever, on the basis of a tax clearance certificate. And the court ruled that the constitution is clear that your freedom of movement is protected. And that's why the state would have changed the law. And that's why to a certain that's why today you don't have tax clearance certificates to leave the country.
Yeah.
So everybody enjoy, and I just trying to make the example of that decision was to the benefit of everyone, that there was no restriction on your ability to move.
To travel out of Trinidad.
Yeah.
We do have a call on the line.
Yeah, sure. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. When I mess up the poll, that surprised and threw me off. I am uncomfortable with the situation, not comfortable. I think I put a 1.
All right, so that's no problem. We understand. Yeah, our apologies for it.
I thought I was looking at a movie. This country will go down in the books for a lot of strange nonsense. Good God, and it's not.
No, plenty countries that have strange nonsense going on in them, We're not changing.
It's just getting ridiculous. What next? Let me come off before I say something that I shouldn't say. You all have a good day.
Thanks, Miss Sampson. Thanks for being so considerate. Oh, Lord. And of course, the other trending story, you can take down the poll now, Peter. The other trending story, of course, is this issue.
Did you put up the results already?
No, well, you want to do results? I thought we would just move it and take some more calls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because people. I don't want people to get confused by because you would have explained how the poll is, the actual poll outside of what is up
You're
on the
just
screen.
surprised. Are you surprised?
I don't want
Are
more
you
people who
surprised?
just join in to get confused now. But they get confused fast, eh?
We do have
Oh,
another
yeah.
line.
Yep. You have a call?
Yes, indeed. Paula, good morning.
Yes, good morning for taking my call, Richard. I see Richard and who there, Richard, and I see and the other person I don't know too acquainted, but I want to say good morning to you too. On the breakfast show, all I can say this morning is too much to tell Jesus. Too much to tell Jesus. And I say this to say, I think it's time the Honorable Prime Minister address this nation. I think the Prime Minister have to address the nation. Because I am saying, if what is being alleged, it's thing to like a 1990. And I am saying the Prime Minister need to go and let the nation know what is going on. She is the Prime Minister, right? She was voted handsomely in an election just about over a year ago. And what is being banned about and all what is being said and all these metrics that is going on, it got the country in too much attention. And I'm calling on the Honorable Prime Minister who I supported in the last general election. I have no bones about it. Come and address the population and let us know what is happening. This is not no puppy show thing going on here. This is serious national security business. And you need to address the country and let us know what is happening. So people will not in bars and all that thing make a lot of speculation. Come on, Prime Minister, address the nation. Please address the nation. Thank you.
All right.
Good morning, I'm Kay Marie Fletcher.
So we're taking your calls to 2811315, 2811315, 299-5156, 299-5156. We're still dealing with the poll. Are you surprised about the developments in the Hadid's case? Yes or no? 299-5156 or 2811315. We'll take one more call and then we just open up the lines generally because Friday is your day when you speak and you talk. So we'll just take like one more call maybe on the poll and give you the poll results and then just open the lines generally.
Yeah, just know between now and Monday, a lot more going to happen again, right? Just know that, right? Go ahead, caller.
Morning, Wendell Richard. I'm not surprised. Anyhow, in relation to the situation that is going to the Privy Council, if you look at it carefully, the average man, his appeal would end at our appeal court, right? You have the initial judgment by a judge, and then it goes to our appeal court here. And the average man so far in Trinidad and Tobago, his venture in for justice would stop right there because he doesn't have the resources to go to the Privy Council. Now, if the CCJ was our final court of appeal, which is on, I think it's Henry Street or someplace like that, the average man in Trinidad and Tobago will be able to go the full distance to get justice. And I am one who would be pushing for Trinidad and Tobago to accede to the CCJ as the final court of appeal. What do you gentlemen think?
Well, you are of that opinion. There are some people who have a different opinion. We remember we interviewed the head of the CCJ at one time, Richard, in studio. The judge, I can't remember his name. I think he was Antiguan.
I can't remember his name either.
Yeah, we had interviewed him one morning. He came into the studio and we did an interview with him. But again, this is not costing. I don't know when the state takes the matter though to the Privy Council, Richard. I would imagine the attorneys for the Hadids would also have to pay are they also billed for that if it's the state taking it? How does that work?
I don't understand what you mean. I don't understand the question.
All right. I'm going based on what that caller just said, right? In terms of the average man can't take his matter to the Privy Council because of the cost it would incur on him, right? But that's if the average man is the one taking it. If it's the person, the Hadis is the one taking it. But in this case, it's the state.
Yeah, but you will still have to pay your attorneys to argue the case.
Right. And is it that you are really
your case? You don't want to relinquish if it is that you figure you have some strength, and either local attorneys seek leave to appear before the Privy Council in England, or you can have English barristers argue the case for you. Now, in death penalty cases, a lot of the times, because there's a strong abolitionist movement in the UK, you have some firms that will do those death penalty cases. I think pro bono, in a sense, they will actually argue the cases. Because remember, a lot of the death penalty cases are not people that are resourced.
Right.
And so when they go to the Privy Council, I think there are attorneys there that are willing to argue death penalty cases for the defense. So you'll probably have to find some, attorney there or a firm there that may be willing to do it, for you, that sort of thing. Of course, the deeds are resourced, so the attorneys I think they also don't they have English barristers too? I'm not sure.
As far as I read, it's Douglas Mendes, Faris Alrari, and Gilbert Peterson.
So I mean, those are seasoned attorneys. So, and two are senior counsel. So they would have probably gone before the Privy Council already. So
yeah.
I remember some of those.
And they all senior counsels?
Faris Alrari is a senior counsel too, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
But I think that's virtual too.
You mean that matter?
The Privy Council matters. I think
you don't have to travel up to London again.
No.
Right.
So the cost is less prohibitive than before.
Correct.
So I believe it is. I'm subject to correction. Attorneys who may have more experience with Privy Council matters, if they in the chat, could indicate or could send a message to my phone. But I believe it's virtual, so you don't have to go up to the. You don't have to actually go to England.
But the mere fact that it's 3 p.m. today, it kind of indicates that.
Yeah, that you'll just argue it. So it becomes so the cost becomes less prohibitive.
Yeah.
Because of technology.
So our lines are open, people, to take your calls on any matter. Today is your day, as I say, it's Friday. You could call on any matter, but there are so many things, as I say, running alongside this particular story. Of course, this story was the main focus yesterday on social media and in the news. Did they remove all the stuff from the Hadis residence? Is there any video of them removing the mobile unit? The record didn't come and pick back up the mobile unit? Or they left it there?
But I don't know what was the reason to having the mobile unit on the premises. I don't know, but that to me was a little strange. And not only strange, it was a little heavy-handed. It's heavy-handed.
Yeah, this whole battalion of police moving in place.
A little heavy-handed. It's weird, but
and Richard, I think I was also reading, Richard, correct me if I'm wrong, I was also reading where the police entered the home and did a sweep of the home so they could have put stuff in the house too. What kind of craziness is that?
Well, that wouldn't be under. I don't think they just have free reign that they could just go into a house unsupervised, which is going to your point.
Yeah.
Usually somebody would accompany you as you go from room to room.
Who?
Any person in the household can go, or attorneys can go with you.
Okay, gentlemen. I have a couple of calls coming in on the lines right now.
Put up the results because we said we put up the results.
Yeah. Let's get the results of the poll, Peter, before we move on to general calls.
All right.
So this poll is confusing you because you're not so sure how people voted.
Yeah, of course, the poll results, 86% said no, they were not surprised. Let's go with that. And 14% say yes, they were surprised. All right? 86% said no, they were not surprised by the Hadid's matter, and 14% said yes. All right? We leave it there today. All right? And we go straight into generic calls.
Yeah, so we can take our call. We can take calls now. Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Don't seem to have anything.
All right.
So you can call now 281-1315, 281-1315, or 299-5156. This is your time to call. Of course, Friday is the day when we give you the opportunity to speak. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Rich?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, Mrs. R?
I'm great, but I'm not so great. What is people doing saying they love you so much in the chat? Where's that one?
You can leave out, that's all.
Yeah.
You can leave out. That is happening. I don't know if you know that.
Hey. Rich was who the call was being directed to. Good morning, Mr. Stephen.
Morning.
I already honestly listening to you all as usual. Enjoying the program. Well, I didn't want to talk about this whole matter that's going on right now in the country. This whole place. I keep asking Charles to play my favorite song from Queen Victoria, African for Sale, but I realize y'all are absolutely showing me y'all are not playing it, but that is what I need to hear. I need people to hear that. I'm not surprised with what's actually going on right now, as I said, so it's so hard, it's so disheartening, it's horrible, I just want justice to prevail, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed, I'm believing in the Father God above and praying hard that somehow we could go back to some sense of normalcy that we had a few years ago. And on that note, yeah, just loving you guys as much as possible, not you, Wendell, only Rich. And have a great day.
I don't want to love from you.
You can't get no love from me. Yeah. Bye, Rich. Have a great day. Talk to you now.
Bye.
Tina, CJ, Carl, Miss Dabity, oh God, the normal ladies, the powder puff girls. All my love to you guys. Hugs and kisses.
All right. Yeah. All right. Our lines are open, people. Just call in and have a chat. The other issue, the other major issue, of course, is this issue of Balize House and the PNM being called to answer how they came upon with the funds to do the renovation and I guess put up the new building. I have to assume that's what they're talking about, the new building, not so much the renovation, because people renovate all the time. People do renovations all the time. And renovations, I telling you something, when you start renovation, sometimes you can't finish it because you're coming up with ideas on the trot. You understand? And you seeing things happen. You seeing things having to be repaired on the go. You know, so I don't know if it's that they're talking about. You have a call?
Yes.
Yeah, let's take it. Don't be afraid to interrupt us, Peter. Your father is both us when you're here.
Good morning.
Morning.
Oh God, by now long I'm waiting.
And you know how long we trying to get you to call?
I call him every time I phone.
Go try that. You know how long we say Mr. Grant call now? And he ignores?
All the time. I sit down my couch watching all day. Anyhow, good morning, everybody. Well, you rather set up here again? Now listen. Yesterday, a young fella had a little argument, which I really don't do with young people. He talking about people paying them go get locked up. So I tell him no. I said, well, let me tell you, paying them in a structured party. Eh? He said, boy, you're selling cake and all kind of thing. You know, look at that, a lot of fun. I said, listen to that logic now. I said, the structure of PNM is, we operate with constituency group, party group. A party group, every $20 a party group make, $10 go to the building fund. From St. Dr. William buy that building. Oh, no. I said, but well, listen, man, you're young. You want to jump in and thing in. But I get to realize he's smoking weed there because he's rocking something there with a partner and he had no money. So he broke in. The next thing, nothing surprised me what's going on here. Because as I always say, since from the time with Dr. with Sharma and Dr. Broadway with the teacup, our Prime Minister has been a kind of type of person, very thing. And if it's check the whole record, you had the Sharma, you had Eric Williams, because I book with everybody. Eric Williams, you have Franklin Khan, then you come, you had other people again, and you come. And I am always saying one of the greatest injustice done in this country is to Dr. Rowley by Vunala Toppin. That thing went in Hansen and Wade Mark sit down there and let a woman sit there and Kamala was behind her with a smile but she can't grin. That in the history of this country for the next 300, 400, 800 years. And you know, when that boy, so I can't make it both right, but because my problem is I can't get nobody to stay with the wifey, but I like to come. Because a long time ago, I'm good right.
All right. Your wife is more important than anybody else. Don't worry.
But you know, it's 6 days you're talking about, man.
Yeah.
From like 20, me and my wife together, 81 now, so you will do the math.
Yeah.
I just feel like with that. The other girls are them outside.
I had to do about 4 marriages in between that time.
Good, I know. You, next thing, I hear you say getting up all 1 o'clock. Same as with me, because at 8 o'clock I was in use, I put my eye drops, and I get a job to dope me, and I fall asleep, and I get up all 12. And that will be the news, because I get up watching Trump and the Bacchanal way in now. And you're done another story. Somebody else would want to talk.
All right.
All the best.
Take care. All right. 61 years. Jesus.
Watching Trump and all the Bacchanal here now.
Yeah. Well, Trump ain't care.
Did President Trump have a nation address last night? I know not all media covered it. But he had some address to the nation, I think, last night.
And the U.S. correspondent didn't say nothing for me? That's strange.
Concerning the 2020 elections. No, I think a lot of stations weren't going to carry it. Because, you know, sometimes major stations won't carry an address if they think it's too political.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it's truly, you know, something substantive the nation needs to know, then they will carry it.
Mm-hmm.
But if they feel it's going to be partisan, sometimes they don't. So I'm not so sure who carried it or who listened to it.
I'm seeing no news trending on it at all, though.
If you were to click onto CNN, I just clicked and I'm seeing key takeaways from Trump's primetime speech on elections. So as I said, not everybody is carrying it. But it was something about the 2020 elections that he wanted to talk about.
All right. Let's take a call. Hello, good day.
Morning, Richard. Morning, Steve. This is Michael Eastman speaking. Who does think? All right.
Did you say Steve?
I love this.
Good morning.
This morning. That with the referendum, I think that when the PNM goes back into power, I hope it goes back with a majority, that they've seriously considered that no government, like what the UNC government is doing to the population today, will ever have any intention of doing that to the population. with this PDO and state of emergency stuff in this road. That suggestion that you give there early on is really good. I really hope that the PNM take it on when they get back, and I hope that they get the majority. But Wendell,
sir,
question to you: if the PNM was in power, do you think this what is happening now would have been happening if there was the election?
No, I can answer that simply no. The public would not have allowed it. The opposition, who would have been the UNC, would have made hell for them. So no.
But let me answer you one better than that. It would not have entered the thought of the PNM to do something like this, because I've never been done before, and I don't think it would have ever been suggested that they do something like this. So guys, I'll look and listen as usual.
Yeah, take care. When under the Patrick Manning regime, they had called the state of emergency surrounding the Speaker of the House. PNM people were the most vociferous about that. You understand? PNM people don't make joke when the party doing stupidness. At least I don't make joke. Well, you know why that's open my mouth. You understand? But PNM people just punish the PNM. And that's why the PNM lose elections in the past, you know. And lose so overwhelmingly. PNM people just punish the PNM. You understand? You really think the UNC going to lose any seat? You saying you hope the PNM get a majority, a resounding majority next time? That ain't happening in Trinidad and Tobago, not in our lifetime, sir. It is not going to happen in our lifetime. I don't know when it's going to happen either. But that ain't happening. Trust me. Yes. Anyway. Let's be open. Our lines are still open. 281-1315, 299-5156. Right? We're taking some calls, and of course you can voice your opinion on any matter that you so wish.
Morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Since I cannot speak because I know how my mouth is it possible I can hear You Get the Government to Deserve by Sugar Aloes? Play that for the people now, please. Mr. DJ on today, please.
But we don't have a next tune coming up. On the 8 o'clock, after the 8 o'clock news, we have a tune. Peter will decide what he wants to play. Unless he gets
Mind is important.
All right.
Let's go with the flow today.
No problem. No problem. Sam's laughing. It is amazing what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago, people. And as I say, this under PNM government, man, the streets, I'm not sure the streets would have been filled, but you would have been seeing and hearing so many things coming out, especially out of attorneys. The law association, quiet. Everybody, all these independent bodies, the trade unions, quiet. Not a peep out of anybody. It's amazing. And it's because people also seeing this as it good for the Hadids and them. No, it had nothing to do with the Hadids, you know. Lord. Frightening, yes. Say what? The Commissioner of Police, very quiet too lately. Very quiet. Are they having parliament at all, Richard, or parliament on recess? Because you're not even hearing anything coming out of the parliament lately.
I have no clue.
Let's take this call.
Yeah.
Caller, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Morning, gentlemen. Wendell.
Sir.
I hope to make the 60 sometime in future, you know, the 60 years marriage. You know, I'm a bit off, but well on the way.
Yeah, excellent.
I want to put a question to Richard. You might have to answer it after the news. I'm not sure. Didn't the Privy Council rule that the act of sedition must go beyond just a comment, but action arising as a result of the comment. Now, if that is so, I'm not sure if I interpreted it correctly, but if that is so, I'm trying to make a link between that and the present ruling, which suggests that discussion, which is intelligence, which is interpreted as a conspiracy, might have to go beyond just the conversation about it, but some action to demonstrate that it is being pursued, basically. I don't know if you're understanding the question I'm asking, but I'm trying to put it in a manner to kind of link the two, in that sedition, from my interpretation, has to be linked to some action as a result of maybe a seditious comment. And in that sense, if you look at the conspiracy, that it must go beyond just a discussion, basically.
Well, what you're alluding to, caller, is exactly what the Court of Appeal said, in a way, Not so, Richard?
Well, the Court of Appeal was saying, basically, that there was no evidence proffered by the state that the level of conspiracy had been met.
Right.
In their opinion, in terms of what they said. So they're saying it never moved from what the state said, from vehement or offensive language to actual conspiracy. So that was the justification for releasing them from the PDO, even though they continued to put them under house arrest. So there's a slight anomaly there, because the Court of Appeal on one hand is saying you have not met any threshold to prove that this is a conspiracy because of the whatever evidence the state was presenting. Obviously, the Court of Appeal wasn't convinced. We don't know what it is. All we can see is what the comments were from the Court of Appeal. But what was a little anomalous to me is that if it is that you're saying that the state didn't effectively prove to you that it met the standard of a conspiracy, then why would the conditionality be so severe?
Yeah.
It was a little, it was, okay, we don't think you meet it, but we're still going to give you some level of, control. Or it may simply have been that as part of the argument from the defense side, the defense says, look, we just want them out of detention and we are willing to go with conditionalities in a house arrest situation. So it made the Court of Appeal's job easier in the saying, well, okay, if you are willing to go with conditionalities, we will give you the conditionalities. But I'm not sure. But with regard to the Privy Council decision that the last caller was referencing, that was from that was a Privy Council decision on the Sedition Act, where they held that the Sedition Act was constitutional. Now, does a country really need a Sedition Act? That's another discussion. But they ruled that it was constitutional, but that they did put some limits to it, and I suppose that's why the caller brought it up, because it's a kind of parallel. I don't want to say it's exactly similar. It's kind of a running in a parallel situation to the current case. So that's where I think what the Privy Council would have, I can't remember exactly what they would have said, but along the lines that the state had the burden to prove that there was public incitement, that there was actionable evidence of something like that, rather than just saying that there was the potential, because you said something that the state may not agree with, doesn't automatically make it seditious.
Yeah.
You understand? So they have to prove an intention to in terms of the person being charged with the sedition, they have to prove that there was an intent. Remember when I talked about that you have two things to always prove in a criminal case, actus reus and mens rea. So you have to actually prove that the intent existed and some action resulted from that intent.
Yeah.
And so if those two components are absent, your case has holes. And in that sedition case, I think that's what the Privy Council was saying. That the state had to prove that there was intention to incite violence.
It'll be very interesting to see how the Privy Council deal with this particular matter, based on the comments coming out of the Court of Appeal. That will be interesting. Anyway, folks, we're going for the 8 o'clock news. And when we come back, we'll take some more of your calls, okay?
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on Net Radio and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Businessman Dominic Hadid and his wife Genevieve will remain in prison after the state successfully blocked their release just hours after the Court of Appeal ordered they be freed. Earlier on Thursday, a panel of appeal court judges ruled the couple should be released immediately from prison and placed under strict house arrest while they continue their legal challenge to their preventive detention orders issued during the state of emergency. However, during an emergency late-night hearing, Chief Justice Ronnie Budasing and 2 appellate judges granted a stay of that ruling and approved the state's appeal to the Privy Council. The Hadids, who have been detained since June 24, were not released from Golden Grove Prison and will remain in custody pending further court proceedings. Their legal team criticized the delay in carrying out the original release order, while the state argued the matter should first be considered by the Privy Council. The Privy Council has reserved judgment in a landmark case challenging the legality of Trinidad and Tobago's 2011 state of emergency and the detention of 17 people without charge. The appeal was brought by Assistant Commissioner of Police Earl Ellie, Ashmead Mohammed, and Dominic Apitalal, who argue the emergency measures were unconstitutional. Their attorney, Senior Counsel Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj, told the court the 2011 crime situation did not justify suspending constitutional rights, while the state argued the emergency measures were lawful and proportionate. The ruling could have significant implications for current and future legal challenges involving preventive detention orders and states of emergency in Trinidad and Tobago. US-based Hummingbird AI Holdings says Trinidad and Tobago was chosen for its proposed AI data center because of its strong industrial infrastructure, skilled workforce, and competitive energy costs. Company executive Mark Kwesi Farrell said the country also offers reliable subsea connectivity to North and South America and a growing focus on economic diversification. The proposed project would begin with a 150-megawatt AI campus, with room for future expansion, while potential sites are still being evaluated. Farrell said the investment could create hundreds and eventually thousands of construction and technology jobs, boost foreign exchange earnings, and position Trinidad and Tobago as a regional hub for AI and digital infrastructure. The People's National Movement has been served with a High Court order requiring the party to explain the funding of its multi-million-dollar Balasier House headquarters. Police served the order on PNM General Secretary Foster Cummings shortly after midnight at Piarco International Airport as he returned from an overseas trip. The order, granted last week, forms part of an application for a preliminary unexplained wealth order, which requires the PNM and its trustees to provide financial records and explain the source of funds used to construct the building. The PNM has denied any wrongdoing, with Chairman Marvin Gonzalez describing the police action as a politically motivated witch hunt. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has confirmed she spoke with Venezuela's acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, 2 days after last month's devastating earthquakes, as Trinidad and Tobago launched a major humanitarian relief effort. In a letter released by the Office of the Prime Minister, Persad-Bissessar said Trinidad and Tobago activated a public-private relief initiative with more than 230 tons of supplies delivered to Venezuela on July 10. She also said Trinidad and Tobago is helping to transport vaccines, approving humanitarian overflights, and remains committed to supporting Venezuela's recovery. The correspondence followed a letter from Rodriguez thanking Trinidad and Tobago for its solidarity and humanitarian assistance after the disaster. As we go, a White House teleprompter operator is being investigated for allegedly using insider information to place bets on words President Donald Trump would use in major speeches. Gabriel Perez, who worked at the White House since 2016, allegedly made nearly $100,000 through trades on prediction market platform Kalshi. The company said it detected unusual betting activity and reported it to the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Perez's account was frozen before any profits could be withdrawn. The White House said he has been placed on unpaid leave and will no longer work there. And that is Net Radio News at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Welcome to Inside the Net on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio. Our daily insights as we count down the journey to FIFA World Cup 2026. Here is today's insight.
Every great journey eventually reaches its destination. Over the past several weeks, we have traveled through nearly a century of FIFA World Cup history. We have celebrated unforgettable victories, witnessed heartbreaking defeats, remembered legendary players, honored remarkable managers, relived iconic goals, explored unforgettable rivalries, and discovered the moments that transformed football forever. Together, we have looked back at the stories that built the world's greatest sporting event. Now, it is time to create new ones. Very soon, the stadium lights will shine once again. The national anthems will echo across the host nations. Supporters will proudly wear their colors. Families will gather in homes. Friends will fill restaurants and sports bars. Children will dream. And billions of people around the world will share one unforgettable experience, the FIFA World Cup. For the players, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. For the coaches, it is the reward for years of preparation. For the supporters, it is 90 minutes of hope, repeated match after match. And for the world, it is a celebration of football's extraordinary ability to bring people together. Win or lose, every nation will have its story, every supporter will have a memory. And somewhere during this tournament, new legends will be born. A spectacular goal, a remarkable save, an unforgettable upset, or perhaps a young player introducing themselves to the world for the very first time. That is the magic of the FIFA World Cup. Before we say goodbye, we want to say a heartfelt thank you. Thank you to everyone who joined us for Inside the Net, Road to FIFA, World Cup 2026 Insights. Whether you have been with us from the very first episode or joined us somewhere along the journey, thank you for allowing NetTeat Radio to share our passion for the beautiful game with you. Your support, your comments, your encouragement, and your love for football have made this series truly special. Now, the countdown is over. The journey becomes the tournament, and the story belongs to the players. To every nation taking part, we wish you the very best. Play with passion, play with pride, and create memories that will inspire future generations. And to the team that ultimately lifts the famous FIFA World Cup trophy, congratulations. You will have earned your place in football history, and your achievement will be remembered for generations to come. From all of us at NETT Radio, thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. Enjoy every match, celebrate every moment, and above all, enjoy the beautiful game.
You've been listening to Inside the Net as we count down the journey to FIFA World Cup 2026 on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
All aboard! Calling all you Net Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on Net Radio. Net Radio. Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August, boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts, Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite net DJs, Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early bird tickets are just $200 after $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Crep, Bats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall and Eastgate Mall, and all net DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. Net Radio, Halloween, Hula Cruise. Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Halloween, on the scene.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Are you a business owner? Well, take advantage of Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV Christmas in July advertising special. Throughout the month of July, enjoy 33% off all advertising packages. Whether you are micro, small, medium, or large business, now is the perfect time to put your product and service in front of the people who matter. Reach your audience through radio, television, and social media, all at 33% off. Don't miss this limited Christmas in July offer. Call us today at 281-1315 or 299-5156 and let Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV help you grow your business. But hurry, this special offer ends July 31st. It's Christmas in July on Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV.
Flavor Entertainment Services, your one-stop premium entertainment service provider. We offer top-tier, best-in-class karaoke and DJ services for your private events, sports bars and lounge. Let us help make your birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, and corporate special events memorable and special. Call us now at 462-2029. We provide more than just music. We create memories that last.
Get ready.
The road to football's biggest stage starts right here on Net Radio and Gael TV. Join us for Inside the Net, the road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights. Every weekday, take a journey through World Cup history, legendary players, unforgettable goals, football's greatest nations, rising stars, iconic stadiums, and the stories behind the beautiful game. From Brazil to Argentina, Germany to France, and every nation chasing football glory. Join us daily at 7:55 a.m. and 11:55 a.m. Don't just watch the World Cup, live the passion. Inside the Net, road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights.
Okay, we are back from the 8 o'clock news. Just letting you know that friends of, let me get the other. It's Hillary's Journey, and that is taking place on Sunday, August 2nd, 2026 at the St. Francois Girls College. Hillary's Journey. Funds are being raised by Friends Foundation. It's a brunch extravaganza. And as I said, it's happening at St. Francois Girls College on Sunday, the 2nd of August from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. The contribution is just $175, and it features comedy by Larry Joseph and Dolores, Alan the Entertainer, Handsome Son, Black Sage, Joey Rivers, and his band of minstrels. All right, so come out, go out and support. You can call Hillary at 769-5163, 798-3448, 708-1107, or you could get your tickets at Rumbox in St. James. All right, it's just $175 as Hillary raises some much needed funds for a medical situation. All right, so you go out and support. She's an ardent fan of this breakfast show, so make sure and go out and support. All right, and of course the Soca cruise, that's what they're calling it. Soca cruise with the breakfast show that's happening on the 15th of August. All right, so make sure and get your tickets. Tickets are all over the place, including Rumbox. Drinks at Rumbox. All right, so make sure and come out and support our Soca cruise on the 15th of August. It's a way of helping us sustain and keep the program going. All right, you all would have seen the wonderful job being done by Sir Charles and Richard in terms of the graphics and all the advertisements and so on. I play absolutely no part in it. All I do is send them videos of good news and some of the clips that they play. That is my role and the poll. Right? That's it. They're responsible for everything else. Right? So come out and support us, please, people. Right? We need your support. Right?
You know what, Wanda? As we have some time here, we might as well give the people the did you know before a dial, earlier.
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course.
That's when they did you know.
Did you know that when you are given general anesthesia, they technically turn you off completely? You don't sleep, you don't dream, you don't rest. They disconnect you. Look, my friend, when they put you to sleep in the operating room, it's not like dozing off on the couch. Your brain stops communicating, your muscles shut down, your consciousness disappears. Literally, total airplane mode. A machine breathes for you while the doctors work. And here comes the heavy part. Your life depends on an exact dose. If they give too much, the heart also sleeps and may not wake up. If they give too little, you can feel everything but without moving, without speaking, without screaming. That's why the anesthesiologist walks a very thin line, neither awake nor dead, right there. And yes, although anesthesia is safe in most cases, there are people who do not wake up, not because they fell asleep, but because the body collapsed, the brain didn't turn back on, or the heart said enough. The most shocking thing is this. You fall asleep trusting, smiling, thinking that in a few hours everything will be the same. But at that moment, you are putting your existence on pause, waiting for someone to hit play again. That's why anesthesia is no joke. It's one of the most vulnerable moments of human life.
Yeah, man. I don't know if you also have a video, because we normally do a funny video today. I don't know if you have any lined up there, Peter.
We do have one, yeah.
Yeah, man. Show that one time.
Yes. I decide to explore a new area of entertainment. Well, we all do that all the time, isn't it? We are adventurous creatures. So I bought a book and started to study ventriloquism, Papa. You know what that is? The art of throwing your voice into dumb objects and make people believe it's the dumb objects talking to you. The book tells me the best place to practice is among animals. So I gone down government farm, Papa. Monday morning, and your boy throwing the voice among the cattle. I have the cattle talking to me. I throw it among the goats. I have the goats talking to me. News gone over the farm. Boy, a fella come here making animals talk. I gone over by the horses. I have the horses talking to me. When I reach the area with the pigs, the attendant rushed me on the half. He said, "Mister, you hear the fella making them animals talk?" I said, "That's right." He said, "Well, you see, that's how they, if he tell you anything about me, liar."
Hey, one of the best, John Agitation. One of the absolute best. I don't know. You know who I like to listen to and watch? Philomena Kunk. I don't know if you all know about her. She used to do those ads for she used to do an ad on TV but she does these sit down or stand up comedies sometimes, where she asks the most outrageous questions. She asks about Camelot. She said, "Do you know if he came a lot?" She said, "No. Well, what you mean is Camelot? That's his name, Camelot." I said, "No, but did he came a lot?" She's absolutely hilarious. One of these mornings, you must show her. We must show her, because I send a lot of those in the chat too. You know. All right, we open up the line still. Richard does his disappearing act around this time, people. So it's just me and Peter. All right. So you can still call in. Today is your day, and express any opinion that you would like, even if it's a light one. All right. If you have your own joke, you could give it too.
Yeah, we have a call on the line already, actually.
Let's take the call.
Caller, good morning.
Morning, Peter. Morning, young guy.
Peter, wait. Go ahead, Ms. David.
Hear this now. I want to see why I called. So I want to ask Richard a particular question, but I hope he comes back, and I hope when the person I'm going to ask, you will tell him he will respond.
He might be listening now, so go ahead.
Okay, so if there's a court order, I'll just join reference to yesterday's court order served on Foster Commons. I heard it and I was sort of better. I'm not sure because I'm not a lawyer. A guy on a particular television station said that the police went to...
Ms. Dabadi? We lost her?
No, I'm still here.
Yeah, go ahead.
No? Right. So that person was saying that, they went to serve the court order on the PNM down at the Valley House, and nobody wants to take it. And he found that was a joke. He said, nobody wants to touch that. You gotta wait till Costa come back from the plane. So I want to find out from Richard, if there's a court order for a specific name, if anybody else could sign for that court order as on receiving it. I want to find out that, because I find as though, it sounded as though, hiding, nobody afraid, nobody wants to touch that. It's not me, understand? So I want Richard to answer that question. So my next thing is this. When you have, as I say, when you have more corn, you feed more fowls. Now, but when this reaches to the Privy Council, like sometime today, I wish it will open the floodgates for everybody who is detained at those detention centers under those PDOs will benefit. I hope that happens. And not because the man who they say full of money could do anything, he might be helping out everybody else who is there at the detention center if it goes in his favor. So the court's supposed to be a good thing. So for me, it might benefit. But if not, well, we cook. Because Richard Wendell, do you have an idea how many people are now detained under PDOs? Do you have any idea?
No, I haven't. No, I have none. I don't know that they ever give you that kind of information. No?
Nobody is saying how 100. Some PDOs he signed about 100 something. I thought it was some kind of automatic signing. I didn't think he gone right plenty. There was a day he signed 17. That's the other day. And next time more than 17. So
I remember 49. I remember that figure.
Well, look at that. So I wonder if he was signing bam, 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 whatever. Now, I believe the police are hell-bent, and the government as well, on just want to dismantle this PNM. Hell-bent. And the police officer who's in charge of the investigation for the PNM wealth, or whatever the wealth, I find he's from the court order that he got from the judge, I find he went into something that is like just make up story, because he's saying certain things to the judge in order for the judge to give him that court order. He's saying so many things there. And I wonder where he has that information, if that is real information. in order for the court to give him the order. So something is wrong, and I found something too. He said they were investigating that sometime in 2025, but how come only on the 10th of July you went and get a court order after the AG and the Prime Minister started talking about it? How come you're there for a whole year and now you want a court order? Something always sounded fishy. I like fish too, but I like it fishy. Anyway, have a good day. Bye.
Okay. As for court orders, and I don't know if Richard listening or any other attorney listening too. I think if the person refused to take it, you could drop it at their feet, and it's considered served, I'm not sure if court order, I know summons works like that, but I don't know if it's the same thing as in a court order, that where he had to sign for it. But I think if you refuse it, the person who's serving it could drop it at your feet, and it's considered served. Anybody could help me with that? Feel free to call in or send or put a message in the chat. All right? But we could take some more calls. Scorpion Pepper, insofar as your question on the matter at the Privy Council with the 2011 state of emergency, it was already heard. You said, does anyone know when the 2011 SOE case be heard? It was already heard. What they are waiting now is a decision, right? But they didn't give a date for the decision. But the matter was already heard. Yeah? So we open up the lines, still taking your calls. You all know I'm ready to shut down if all you don't call, Peter's a quiet young man, in case all you notice. He's not like Charles, who always chatting, right? He's not like his dad at all.
Yeah, you have me there.
You have a call?
I was doing, no, we don't have any calls at the moment. Lines are a bit quiet, but I was doing some research here, and apparently a court order is official once it's signed by the judge. So whether or not the receiving party accepts the court order or not, it is official.
Yeah, they could drop it at your feet. They could literally drop it at your feet and walk away. It's considered served.
We do have a call on the line.
Mm-hmm. Hello, good day. Hello. Hola.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
we hear you.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Why they have arrested Hadith for sedition, whatever, if it's a whatever conversation they might have had, whatever information.
Not sedition, Lincoln. Conspiracy to murder.
Right. However, they get that information. While they would have done that, conspiracy to murder, I am aware of 2 police officers who have in fact murdered. The country is aware of 2 police officers who have in fact murdered and have not even seen the inside of a police station yet. I'm just reminding Trinidad and Tobago that the police or the law, one or the other, I don't know who, seems to be selective as to who they prosecute and who they charge. Because you all right on this very program had the person in charge of the Tobago division who said, I have the file right on my desk here and it's completed and it's going to be forwarded to the DPP as soon as I end this conversation. Do you remember that conversation?
Mm-hmm.
And to this date, we haven't heard from the DPP. Well, I know it's not his fault that we haven't heard from him because it's only to interview him again. We haven't heard any findings from the DPP's office as to whether to prosecute, whether to charge, whether to forget this man and let him go away. Nothing reference that. The man who shoot the police officer who shoot the man behind the closed door is another incident. The one that shoot the handcuff man, while handcuff is another incident. I'm still waiting on the findings of these situations involving police that people have died. Forget the conspiracy to commit. I want to know what's going on with the people who have in fact murdered people in this country before the Kaya City. By the way, another question that I have, has Kaya City, was she able to secure bail? I know when she came, she was arrested and she got a certain amount.
Yeah, she got bail. You can't remember the picture of her being given the kokioko or horsey back out of the thing. That was after bail. That was after she got bail.
I wasn't aware of that. Remember, I'm not around, so I wasn't aware.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to hear that.
What I find amazing, Lincoln, is that the identity of those officers with that shooting has never been revealed.
Never.
Never. That I find amazing.
Well, you see, no. Okay, what happened? What the law is, what I remember the law is that the identity does not be revealed until they are charged.
No, I ain't talking about. I talking about even the squad. You don't even know where they came from. You hear nothing about those police officers. Nothing.
Correct.
Nobody in find out who was that squad.
The nepotism or the conspiracy that I believe happens in the police service, right? Because a police hit a woman, beat a woman, he all over social media. A police murder somebody. I ain't hear nothing about the identity of the police, right? So I just wanted to remind Trinidad and Tobago of the how the scales are unbalanced where certain organization is concerned, right?
But I'll tell you something. I won't say everything I heard on air, but you remember there was an incident with 2 police officers, I think in Grandy, where one was alleged to have shot himself.
Yes.
In front of an ex-officer.
And he going to do some work. He going to help.
Right.
And he killed himself.
Right. Just remember that story when I see her and I talk to you, right?
Story from the get-go sounded ridiculous. If I go and kill myself, I don't invite nobody by me to do no work.
Just remember that story when I see her and I tell you, and I will tell you.
What do you work for?
Right?
Huh?
Take care. Oh Lord, Trinidad and Tobago, frightening sometimes, but if you don't laugh, you will cry. If you don't laugh, you will cry. And when I keep telling all the TTP is hopeless, all this somehow they don't like it. Well, all you seen it for yourself now, right? Huh?
We do have another call on the line. Caller, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name there?
You can call me Peter.
All right, Peter. Peter, good morning. And Wendell, good morning to you.
Morning.
Richard, wherever you are.
Morning, Zena.
Yeah. You know what? I just want to know, and there, according to our laws now, and there's bail for murder.
Yes.
People who murder, who kill others, and they get in bail.
Under certain circumstances, yes.
All right, good. That is all I want to know. The people who are even charged, I try to understand the whole situation. Anyhow, the less said, the better. Thank you.
All right. Trinidad. Stories upon stories every single day. You ain't getting a rest.
Indeed, always something to talk about.
Yeah. It's tiring. I telling you, it's. But you know, somebody got to do it.
Very true. We do have another caller on the line. Caller, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Hello.
Yeah, morning. We hear you. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, morning, Mr. Stevens. How are you doing?
I'm all right. That's Anson.
Yeah. I passed through another place a couple of weeks ago to take one with you, but you weren't in resident.
You came here?
Yeah. I met the retinue of ladies who are the front in the usual place.
You talking about in Rumbox?
Yeah. I passed through. I was on my way to Ireland Friday evening church, and I said, you know what, I'm going to pass through and see what's going on.
Last week Friday.
Yeah, that was the Capo Verde and Argentina game, but they say you went around.
No, I was actually overseas. Yeah, okay, good, cool. Sorry to hear that. They didn't tell me though.
Then I took one by myself and I went on to do the game where I was winning in Central Lyman. But you know, what's curious to me with the whole Hardy matter, they had one panel of judges ruling, right? And said, well, they would be free on condition, house arrest and so on. So is it that, and we were told that the matters were continuing this morning, the other substantive matters, right? So I want to know, is it the same panel that ruled for the stay, or it was a different panel?
No, it was a different panel.
That is very interesting, don't you think?
Yeah, I found it interesting too that the Chief Justice himself sat on that other panel.
And for me, right, it goes back to this, right? How speedily the Chief Justice was appointed, and I think CJ was put in place. And it's interesting that he himself would have sat on the panel that more or less had stopped the previous decision by the previous panel. If it walks like a duck, they say, and quacks like a duck, what do we say?
It is a duck.
Part one, It is a speculative part one. But for me, right, I think the most seminal decision would be the one we built for the 2011 detainees in the personage, interestingly, of now PCP Eli and others. He was then a sergeant in 2011 when he was still under you had never charged. You see that particular judgment, I am saying that will be bombshell. In addition, from the Privy Council, in addition to this other one that is going to the Privy Council. Yes. Remember, the Privy Council is the judgment in that early line matter. And for me, I think it would cause, to me, they get my amateur thing from my standpoint, right? According to how that early line decision goes, it may do one of two things really. One, it may see if the UNC government will hold to the position that they will keep the Privy Council as the highest court of appeal in criminal and civil matters. And two, whether or not that decision will see far-reaching effects as far as the amendment of the Constitution and have to be carried out in this government terms relating to how states of emergencies and PDOs are administered by a government. I think that may very well be a very big turning point and force this government to engage in constitutional reform in a matter that it didn't anticipate at all. And keeping in mind current majority they enjoy in Parliament. So I'll just stand by as a spectator with some popcorn to see if my summation may be wrong. But I have a feeling with that I may be a little bit right. For Sunday, I'm going to teenager to take it because the last teenager to win a World Cup first time around was about Pele, right? It's not
Yes.
So that's the reason why I'm going with the youth. I think let's not having one World Cup is enough time. Let somebody else catch up.
All right. Thanks, Anson. Take care. Yeah. Ian Stewart is saying when the officers were named in the report to the DPP, it was in the newspaper. I didn't see it. I honestly didn't see it because I would not have raised it if I was aware that those officers were named. Are we speaking about the same thing? The officers with the Joshua Samaru killing, they were named? I don't remember that. All right, we could take a couple more calls before we close off on this weekend. We don't have a holiday until the end of the month, which is Emancipation Day. The parade is supposed to take place on that day. I imagine that parade will be as massive as it has been in the past. Emancipation Day is what day of the week? It's a Saturday? Oh my, that's terrible.
We do have a caller on the line.
All right. Take care. Hello, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Wendell. Richard
Yes,
is
sir.
around.
No, he probably jumped back in a bit. But he's not
What I
around.
want to find out is there an arbitration section attributed to the CCJ? My reason for asking this is that the matter between Guyana and Venezuela is it before the CCJ arbitration committee or the court? And if so,
I don't know.
If the ruling is made, wouldn't Trinidad and Tobago find themselves in an awkward position if they support what Marco Rubio is attempting to do and trying to use the Caribbean countries to dismantle the CCJ? I don't know if Richard would be able to shed some light on that.
All right. Well, I hope if he's listening, he would you think, or you could call back on Monday and ask him, right?
Okay, will do.
Yeah. All right, take care. Yeah. All right. Some folks in the chat. Yeah, Ms. Mendoza, I've never heard those officers' names mentioned in the Samaru killing. I've never heard it. I may have missed it, but I've never seen what squad they came from, what region they come from. You know, normally they put up which region and his name, identify everybody who do something. I've never seen any such report in that particular incident. And there were several officers there. After, it was initially, I think, 3 or 4. But they've never been identified, not as far as I'm aware. All right. Any more calls, Peter?
We have a call on the line right now.
Yeah, let's take.
Yeah, I want to that caller. What Rubio and them are trying to dismantle is the ICC, the International Criminal Court. The matter with the Guyana and Jamaica is before the ICJ, the International Criminal Court of Justice, and specifically the part that deals with border disputes and so on. So you are a bit confused. The Guyana the matter cannot go to the CCJ because the CCJ deals with CARICOM, Caribbean country matters, right?
Okay.
And what Rubio is saying is that you have to support countries in the Caribbean. I hope it will be interesting to see if we are because the idea for the ICC was first touted by President and then Prime Minister Roberts when he addressed the UN General Assembly in 1988. And that is where the whole thing came from. And the remit of the ICC court deals with people who commit untold crimes against humanity, like Slobodan Milosevic from Guinea, Balkan conflict there, right? When they kill all those Muslim from Serbia and from Bosnia and so on. And recently, Rodrigo Duterte, the former president of the Philippines, who is there now, awaiting trial. And also had somebody in the personage of, when you recall his name, like Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings, who was at one time the president of Ghana when he led a overthrow the civilian government when he was a captain in the Air Force there. So that is the remit of the ICC, right?
Right.
With those types of matters. And interestingly, Rubio is looking to abolish the ICC when Russia, China, Israel, and America are the most prominent countries who are not signatories to the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court, meaning people under their sovereignty who commit war crimes are not subject to the authority of the ICC judges and courts. As you mean, I hope I explained that simply for the caller because we raised the confusion from it.
All right, cool. No problem. Thank you very much. Richard is also back with us. Just as we are about to close off, unless he wants to take more calls.
I mean, no, if you want to close off, we could close off.
Yeah. All right, folks, Well, have a wonderful weekend. Remember to let go and let God. There's nothing else for me to say. You've got one life, live it, and live it to its fullest.
Just one question, Wanda. Was it confirmed that the matter is going before the Privy Council at 3 p.m. today?
It wasn't confirmed. Only one person on the chat said so, Jason Samuel. But I haven't seen it anywhere else since.
Oh, it hasn't come up on the feed or anything like that?
No, I haven't seen it anywhere else since. You know? I guess we'll
All right.
know at some point in time during the course of the day.
Yeah, we'll find out. So what the latest developments are, which we'll have to discuss on Monday. So have a fantastic weekend, people. Remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. Enjoy life. Enjoy your own personal space and life. It's important. Don't let things that are happening on the planet just bring you down. You also have a duty to, maintain your own balance and mental clarity by also relaxing and enjoying yourself. And above all, laughing, because that is excellent for your health. Of course, netradiott.com, netradiott.com. That's where you go. Once you're coming off the YouTube stream, that's where you go to listen to the excellent programming throughout the day. Or you can go to Net Radio Trinidad on your smart devices. And all you say is play NETT Radio Trinidad on TuneIn, and you will get the station. NETT Radio Trinidad on TuneIn. That's all you have to say to your smart device, and you'll be good to go. And you can listen to the excellent programming from all of the various presenters throughout the day. Have a fantastic weekend, people. And of course, we know you have choices in what you give your time to in terms of listen and watch. And we're glad that you choose us, The Breakfast Show. Have a fantastic day. You've been watching and listening to
The Breakfast Show.
The Breakfast Show. The Breakfast Show.
It's a Friday, baby. To the world. Shake what your mama gave ya. Hey. Your weekend starts right here, baby.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah. Yeah.